Aloha, Dr. Heather Tucker here, and welcome back for another episode of Wisdom Wednesdays. This is video 2 on our series of regaining focus. And with this one is about controlling the squirrels. Okay, controlling the squirrels. What are people talking about? Controlling the squirrels. Yes, I can think about the squirrels outside, but I'm talking about the squirrels in here, okay? So this month is all about focus and productivity. And in this video, I'm going to share with you 3 secrets on how to control the squirrels and get focused, even in the midst of chaos, so that you can keep calm and live aloha. Again, there's so many things that are happening all over the world. We get it, we know, and we may find ourselves wondering, how can I stay focused with all this stuff, chaos happening around me? Well, it's totally possible because of the chaos that's happening around us. Now is the time to really be able to step into our calling with much more ease and grace. There's so many people in the world waiting for you to show up, especially if you're an entrepreneur and you have this calling for your business. The world needs you now more than ever. And if we don't get out there, we become the world's best kept secret. And oftentimes the squirrels or the many shiny objects or distractions can prevent us from really being able to showing up and shining and being that light, like the lighthouse, to guide the way for so many other people. And this is why we're here. So again, as an entrepreneur, or even if you're not an entrepreneur, it's so important to overcome multitasking, procrastination, worrying, doubt, so that you can have clarity and take calm, easy actions. So let me share with you these 3 secrets on how to control the squirrels. The first step is to understand what shiny object syndrome is. Okay, shiny object syndrome is something that is not really talked about, and it's so common. Like, we could stay focused on this, we're going to do this, and then all of a sudden something catches our eye and we see it and we go after that, and then something else catches our eye and we see it and we go after that, and we never really complete and take root and have a foundation of what we started. I get this because when I was an entrepreneur early on, I was like all about the squirrels and the shiny objects, like, oh, this could be good. Oh, this could be good. And what does that do? It creates overwhelm. It creates craziness. It creates never really having the stability and the clarity and the foundation that we can be able to stand on with ease. So what is shiny object syndrome? The definition that I found online says that shiny object syndrome, called SOS, is a continual state of distraction brought on by an ongoing belief that there is something new worth pursuing. Okay. A continual state of distraction brought on by an ongoing belief that there is something new worth pursuing. It often comes at the expense of what is already planned or underway. Oh, this is something that's so good, because I just finished up the communication mastery certification training for the spring. And what I tell them, and this is for everyone, our beliefs, what we believe in here, creates our reality. So this definition is saying that there's always this something new worth pursuing, which leads us to the shiny object syndrome. And how we do one thing sometimes is how we do everything. So we want to be cognizant of that. Okay, so listen to what else it says. It says it's rooted in that childhood phenomena that always wanting the new toy, even if the current toy is just fine. Shiny object syndrome is often a result of lack of clear, well-defined goals and in tandem with poor planning. Both of these factors result in lack of focus, attention, and clarity, amplifying the shiny object syndrome. Wow. Okay. So what I just read to you, right? It's almost like if we have the shiny object syndrome, and if we don't rein it in and control the squirrels and get that clarity in the direction that we're going, then the shiny object syndrome will continue on. And then it'll get louder and louder. And then it'll take more of our focus and focus away. So the goal is to be able to bring it back in and get that clarity. And what's going to help with that is my secret number 2. Oh, this is a good one too. Okay. And some of y'all might want to be like, what the heck are you talking about, Dr. Heather? You could do that. That's fine. But this is something that's so good. Less is really more. I felt like a mic drop moment. I can't drop my mic, but less is really more. You know, a lot of times we think that we have to have all of these pieces together. I can't tell you how many times I hear about people saying, I have to have all of these pieces together and all of these different things for it to be perfect. And then I can put it out to the world. Oh my gosh, it's so horrible, because then the world is waiting for you to be perfect, which is okay to be perfectly imperfect. You just got to put it out there. Like, I'm thinking about when I wrote my dissertation, and my dissertation coach, she was like, a good dissertation is a done dissertation. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it has to be out there. And a perfection is that paralysis, is that poverty, is the procrastination that prevents us from really being able to continue on the journey. It can be perfected over time, right? But that part about starting with what you have, this less is more, sometimes the more things that you have to offer can be overwhelming. Maybe not only for you, but also for the people that you're serving. So less is something that's so powerful. You know, it's funny, even when I'm teaching the life coaches, you know, we have like a nice little format that they go through. And the first question that that I have them ask is, what can you do less of? And it's so funny because a lot of times they want to gloss over that question to get to the what you can do more of. But the reality is that we're already doing so much that actually the less is going to create more expansion. Now, this may not make sense, or it might make sense. You let me know in the comments. The reality is that when we have less that we're able to wrangle, it becomes easier to navigate. And that actually opens up our space to be able to achieve more and have more fun and freedom. And did I say fun and freedom? Have more of the things that we want to have. Okay. Secret number 3. Create your foundation and let it take root. Create your foundation and let it take root. This kind of goes into that less is more, right? It expands on that because we want to let our roots settle in before changing it. It actually goes into the first 2, understanding what shiny object syndrome is and having less is more. We want to create a foundation, let it take root before fully changing it. And it's like being grounded like a rooted tree that's firm, fair, and flexible and is blowing with the wind as compared to against it. Because, as I mentioned before, the only constant is change. So if we're constantly doing all these different pieces and we don't have that rooted clarity of this is our foundation. You know, I posted on my social media last week, or maybe a couple of weeks ago, how foundation is something that's so important. If we don't have a foundation, how can we build? And I think about the scripture, Mark 3:25. You know, if a house is divided against itself, that house cannot stand. So if this foundation has so many piece parts and conflicted, how can it be a solid foundation? There's a difference between a solid foundation and one that is easily broken, easily unraveled. And which would you prefer? Okay. So I know there's still so much more to talk about over the next couple of weeks on this topic. And I want you to think about, you know, what are the squirrels that you need to control? And then how can we be able to control them? Right? What are the things that is best to be able to focus on? This is all about like prioritizing and stuff like that too. And so be on the lookout for our ebook that's coming up this month. So therefore you can be able to get more clarity on this. And if you're an entrepreneur, join us for the Aloha Business Network and Connect. that we do once a month, every third Thursday. It's really about connecting with other heart-centered entrepreneurs. So therefore, you can understand exactly what prosperity powered by a partnership really is and what's possible. All right, look forward to seeing you on another episode of Wisdom Wednesdays next week. Remember that sharing is caring. So if you like this video and this content, make sure to share it as well with other people so they can get their cup filled up too. And put your comments below. We want to hear what's the biggest takeaway from this message for you, and have an amazing rest of the week. Peace.